everyone and welcome back to another video. Today I'm just gonna be doing my makeup again, and almost everything I'm using today is from Sephora. I think just the concealer isn't. Not exactly a lot. A few of the things that I'm using I just got at the Sephora sale. I've used them a little bit but not a ton, so I'll be trying that today. And yeah, that's really all there is to say for now. I'll get started. Alright, so I apologize if you can hear the birds outside. They're kind of loud. It's kind of nice. It's setting the springtime vibe, but I didn't ask them to do that. Anyway, before I do my foundation, I am going to clip my hair back just to keep it out of the way. I know this isn't the cutest look, but it does the job I want it to. So we're gonna do it. So for foundation, I'm using the Makeup Forever HD Skin Foundation. I think that's the whole title. And I'm gonna say right now, this is the lightest shade. It is a little bit dark on me, so like don't make fun of me if it looks too dark. I got the lightest shade. It's not like I tried to go darker than I actually am. So I'm gonna put this on now. And this is a really thick foundation too. Like I'm used to foundations that I pump them and they kind of like are really liquidy and kind of just settle. This one doesn't. Okay. My hair's still in the way. So today I kind of wanted to, my hair is just always in the way, talk about how I got into makeup and hair and all of that fun stuff. So I was thinking about it like before I started filming earlier this morning, and I think that the first time that I really like realized I liked makeup was, oh, that bird. It was loud and I saw it swoop right by. It was when I was probably like 8. I think I was 8. Maybe I was younger or older. I don't really remember. And for some reason my mom's makeup bag was in my bathroom instead of hers. So I decided to go through it. And I remember, I think I did foundation and mascara. I know I did those two things. And I remember, like, it was really obvious because my eyelashes are blonde. So for me to have mascara on, like, you can tell really obviously that it's mascara. And I remember my mom being like, where did you get that? Like, how are you wearing that? And I was like, I thought that I could put it on and that no one would notice. Very silly. Give me 1 second. Sorry, I thought someone was at my house, but no one is. It's the neighbors. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, I put on this mascara and it was really obvious. And after that, my mom didn't let me use her makeup anymore because she said I was too young, which I was, so it was okay. After that, I think it was when I was in middle school that I started, like, my mom was letting me buy, well, she was buying me the makeup because I couldn't afford to buy that. I was in middle school. But all I would wear was mascara, and it was from CoverGirl. It was the green bottle, which I think my sister actually uses that one still, so I mean I could go find it, but I'm not going to. And I used like a CoverGirl powder, and I think I had a blush, but I had no like brushes, so I don't know how I did. I think I used like the little things that would come with it. And usually, because I would like to get as much sleep as possible, I would do my makeup in the car on the way to school, because I remember I kept my makeup in the car. It was in the back seat of my mom's car at all times. I never brought it inside. And in the winter it would be like frozen, so before I'd put it on, I had like a 15-minute drive to school. I would have to like warm up the mascara in my hands because it was frozen. Like I couldn't wear it when it was frozen. I'm going to, because I don't have a napkin to like wipe this off, I'm just gonna blend it into my neck, so I'll just skip by this part. Alright, so now we'll move on to concealer. I'm using the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. This is the one product I said that I'm pretty sure isn't. This is, I think, the only one that's not from Sephora. Everything else, I think you can find there. Or at some point in time you could have. I don't know if it's all still there. My bad. But yeah, so then that was how I did my makeup in middle school. I would do a video that's like how I did my makeup in middle school, but it would be 2 minutes because it was very quick. After that, I remember, because I grew up dancing, and when we would have shows, this was actually so funny. We would, for makeup, like my studio was really strict when it came to a lot of the like backstage stuff. So like they were very scheduled, like show week was very scheduled. When I moved, I went to a different studio that was much more relaxed when it came to show week. But my studio in Massachusetts, we would have to have our makeup done there. And we had a really nice theater that we would use. It was a college in Massachusetts that had a really nice like performing arts center. And they had this one room that during rehearsals, it would be where we would do photos. And then when it was show day, it was the makeup room. And they had like these folding tables that they'd undo. And basically every mom at this studio had to like volunteer to do something for show week. And one of the things you could volunteer to do was the makeup line. And it was literally an assembly line. So like the dancers would come, and like there was one table where they'd do your foundation, and then there was one table where they'd do the powder, and then another table where they did the blush. Like every step was its own table, and like each mom would just do the foundation for every girl or the powder. And I thought it was the funnest thing. We would do that for every show, so I would go and like they'd do it for me, and it was so fun. But it's funny because I look back at the photos and I'm like, my makeup did not look good. Like I don't think I'm like, it would have looked a lot better if I just done it myself, but they wanted everyone to look the same, so that's why we had to do it that way. And I feel like that was a very defining moment in my life when I realized I liked makeup and liked getting my makeup done. To move on, I'm using the Rare Beauty blush. This, along with the foundation, were two things that I got in the Sephora sale. This is in the shade Hope, which I really wanted this shade mostly because my name is Hope, which is kind of silly, but it's a pretty shade too, so I allowed it. These are very pigmented. Now this is the first one that I've bought, but I've seen a lot of people use them online, so I know that you don't want to play around with how much of these that you use. Like that's all I'm gonna put on. But yeah, so that was a very defining moment in my life. And I left Massachusetts when I was 16. And at that point, I still had the same, like, if it wasn't for a special event or occasion or like the dance recitals, I would just still do mascara, powder, and blush. And then I moved, and I remember the girls that I sat with in English class my junior year, I didn't know any of them before this. But it was like that scary thing on the first day of school where the teacher was like, you can choose where you want to sit. Where like if you have friends in the class, that's great. But if you don't, it's scary. So I just sat at an empty table, and I was so lucky and blessed that in like the 3 minutes before class started, everyone else that sat at my table were like perfectly normal girls my age, and they all like knew so much about like fashion and makeup. And this class was like basically a study hall. It was an English class, and we did learn stuff, but like once we were done with our work, we could talk. Sorry, I had a brief pause there. My phone ran out of storage, but it's fixed. But yeah, so I'd talk about makeup with these girls all the time, and then I don't know if that's what sparked me starting to look up stuff up online outside of school, but it was around the same time that I started doing that. Sorry, I keep getting up because I keep thinking people are here and they're not. So it's very confusing. So for powder, I'm going to use the Soft Focus Hydrate and Set Powder from Jouer. This is in the shade Fair Pale. I shouldn't even turn it around because it just reflects horribly onto the screen, so I apologize. This is a great powder. It's very, it's like the perfect powder for people who want to set their makeup but don't want to take away the, like, dewiness of the products underneath. Like, I don't want it to look like I have powder on. And I feel like that's what this powder does perfectly for me. So, where was I? Yeah, so then it was around this time, it was my junior year of high school, that I started really watching a lot of videos on YouTube about makeup. And the person who I watched the most was Tati Westbrook. I think she was the first, like, beauty channel I came across. And she used to upload every day. So I would come home, like, every day from school at 3. And I would sit there and I would watch her videos. And since she had so many, I would watch the ones she uploaded and then I'd find old ones and I would just watch them. And I feel like I learned a lot, one, about like how to apply makeup through this, but two, I learned so much about like all the different brands and the different types of products and like what kind of makeup to buy. Like, I originally was only buying drugstore because I was young. Like, I didn't have money to buy high-end makeup, but I would ask for it for Christmas and stuff. That would be my special, like, makeup would be what I asked for birthdays and Christmas. I'm using the Ilia bronzer, by the way, in the shade, I think the shade is Drawn In, and it's the Night Light bronzing powder. I think I already went in, now I don't remember. And so I watched Tati a lot. I also watched Kathleen Lights. I still love Kathleen Lights. I still love both of them to this day. But I watched those two, I think, were the first that I subscribed to. I think I also subscribed to Rachel Loves, who she's also still on YouTube. She does a lot of TikTok like hack videos, which I'm not quite as interested in, so I don't watch her a ton anymore, but I will still watch her every once in a while. But yeah, Kathleen Lights, Tati, and Rachel Loves. I watched those three, and like those three exclusively for like a couple of years. This was in 2016, by the way, so it's been 6 years now since this happened. Alright, this is looking nice. And it was always fun because whenever like a brand would launch something new, like all three of them would do like their own separate review, and I would never buy a product until I had seen like all three of their reviews. It was funny. It's funny to me now. So yeah, that's kind of how I got into all of this. And since then, I mean, I've kind of just continued watching videos. They're not the only people I watch now. Like I said, I really don't watch, they're not like my top 3 anymore. I still like watching them. They're a lot of fun. I'm going to explain highlighter now. I'm using the Rare Beauty highlight in the shade Enlighten. And I'm hoping this goes on over powder fine. I think it does. I think I've done it before. This, again, similar to the blush, is really, like, the applicator picks up a lot more product than you need. So, ooh, I, like, barely use any, because you really don't need that much. Yeah. I probably could have used a little bit more than that. I love liquid highlights. They're just so fun. And this one's really nice because it's not too blinding. I don't love super like icy highlights anymore. I used to, but that's just not what I do anymore. But right now, if you had to ask me my favorite YouTubers and I had to tell you, like, if I could only watch 3 right now, who would it be? It would probably be, I really like Jessica Braun. She's kind of, if you follow the beauty community at all, Tati Westbrook went on like a year-long hiatus, and in that year-long hiatus, I filled the void with Jessica Braun. She doesn't have quite as many subscribers as Tati does. I don't know where she falls in like how many subscribers she has, but she's popular. And I started watching her videos all the time because Tati was gone. I am using, I think it's Kaja, I should know how to say it, but I don't. This is their eyeshadow trios. They're really cute. They have like just 3 colors, and they're stacked on top of each other. And they're perfect because you can create one look with just the 3 of these. I'm probably not even going to use all 3. I think I'm just going to use the top one in the middle shade. But they're really cute. And honestly, this is the kind of eyeshadow I use now. I don't love to use big palettes anymore because I never use every shade, ever. And I prefer to have a lot of little palettes where I know I use every shade than like only have like 1 or 2 big palettes where I barely use them. That's just how I feel about that. This is a really pretty shade. It reminds me a lot. Ooh, that was really bright. This reminds me of the Kathleen Lights ColourPop collab. It was the Zodiac palette. She had a shade like this in there, and that palette has been discontinued, and I ran out of that shade. So I was very happy when I used this one, and it was very similar to that. But yeah. So Jessica Braun, videos are great. If you like makeup or vlogs, she does both. I love her vlogs. I didn't used to like vlogs until I watched hers. And since then, I've also started to really like Taylor Wynn, who I did know about before, but it was once I started watching Jessica Braun's vlogs that I started also watching Taylor Wynn's, and those ones are also really fun. So those 2 are definitely 2 of my favorite YouTubers right now. I still love Tati. I still love Kathleen Lights. If I had to pick like one YouTuber who every time they recommend something, I end up liking it, it would be Kathleen Lights. Tati sometimes, not that I think she's trustworthy, but I think we have different like taste. But I still really like watching her, and she definitely teaches really well. Like her technique and application is what I go to her for. All right, so see, that was very simple. It wasn't my best application job either, but it's because I was talking. We'll go with that. I don't really know if that's true. So for mascara, I didn't really have a mascara from Sephora to use, but I have this sample size from Rare Beauty. I don't know if they have a name for this mascara that I don't know. They might, but this is just the shade Black. I don't know if they have any other shades. They might have a brown shade. I don't know. But look, it's so funny because it's so tiny. Like, if you compare the size of the brush to the size of the product, I'm like, this probably only has like 3 uses in it. I have tried it before with like this, like I've tried this exact one before, and I think it's good, but I don't know that I haven't found something comparable at the drugstore. Mascara is that one thing that I just can't find it in me to justify spending more than like $8 on a mascara. Even $8 is, I think, more than you need to spend for a good mascara. It's because of Essence. Essence makes the best mascaras, and they're only like $5, if that. Again, I think I've said this before. I probably make silly faces while I apply mascara. And while I apply other products too. I'm sure it's not just mascara. Alright, what left do I have to do? I think just lips. So, I don't really have a lot. I have a lot of lip products from Sephora, but no like lipstick. So I'm just going to use a liner and a gloss. This liner, I don't know if Buxom still makes anymore. They do make eyeliner, not eyeliner. They do make lip liner, but I'm not sure that they still do pencil ones. But this one I really like. It's in the shade, I'm sorry, I'm talking as I use it, Incognito. It's the Plump Line lip liner. I really don't know if they still make these. I know that they do make a lip liner, and I've heard good things about it. and it's similar to this one, but it's not a pencil. It's like retractable. And if it's anything like this one, you should get it. I think I've definitely heard good things about it. I really like this shade though, because it's not like a scary shade. Like, it actually matches my natural lip color pretty well. All right, and then for gloss, I'm going in with with the Patrick Ta lip gloss. It's Major Glow Lip Shine in the shade She's Expensive. It's true, I have a very expensive. Okay, no, I try not to be expensive, but I just like expensive things. It's not my fault. This is a pretty gloss. It smells really good. It smells like sweet peppermint. Like, kind of like a peppermint patty in a way. And this shade, it's kind of similar to just a clear gloss, but with a lot of shimmer. I like to use this typically over top of a like nude lipstick, and this just kind of gives it a little bit more life. I don't know what that hand motion was. All right, so I am finished then. I hope you enjoyed this. If I had to give a rundown, so this foundation, the eyeshadow, and this blush were my 3 products that I got at the Sephora sale, and I think they were all worth it. I mean, this foundation, I'd been looking for one that didn't have SPF in it, because while I do like SPF foundations, I wanted one that didn't have any, so that if I'm ever going to like a nighttime event or even a daytime event where there are going to be a lot of pictures taken, it wouldn't have a lot of flashback. I think that this was that for me. This, I just hadn't bought eyeshadow in a long time, and I thought it was cute, and I think it's a cute idea. I like the 3 shades in one. I think it'd be good for traveling. Like, you only have to bring this little stack as opposed to a whole palette, when I feel like you don't really need a whole palette, like I was saying. And the blush was good. It's a good blush. If you've been looking at it, I don't think you'll be disappointed. Everything else are things that I've been using for a while, and I know that I like, and I wouldn't still have them if I didn't like them. So those are my reviews, my recommendations. I hope you liked this video. I hope you enjoyed listening to me ramble. I'm good at rambling, I'm doing it right now. If you would like to subscribe, please do so, and comment down below. That's all for today. Goodbye.